Hey everybody, good afternoon, good morning. How we doing out there? Welcome aboard to Ready Set Crypto Live. Today is Wednesday, the 26th of June. It's been a couple of months since I've done this, so we're going to get right back into it here. And we're going to look for your coins. I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of things that we've seen with crypto in terms of the charts, but also some other opportunities that I think you need to be aware of that you can take advantage of and earn some income on the side. Okay, let's get into it here. How we doing out there? Let me know where you guys are coming in from. And also, I would appreciate it if you have any coin requests. We can always look at any currency pairs, and we'll be here together for about half an hour or so. So about the top of the hour, we'll wrap things up. And then we'll see it again in a couple of weeks or so. All right, so we have checking in today, Ayub. Thanks for checking in as well, too. And yeah, Mav is doing some great things these days. So traveling the world, changing the world underneath our feet. So let's see, John is checking in. John Lewandowski, welcome aboard. And we got Matthias from the Netherlands. Hey, Seb. How are you doing? I am back. Hey, John. Let's see. Giffian from Portland, Maine. We were out in Maine about 2 years ago. I don't know how close we got to Portland. We were up, gosh, I don't remember. Rockland or something like that. Can I check XMR? You bet. You bet I can do that. So first of all, let me start off with Bitcoin. Let me tell you guys what I'm seeing with Bitcoin right now. Again, this should be nothing new from what we've talked about. If we go way out to the monthly chart, what's happening at the monthly chart? This is really what's in control here. What we have is we have basically a cup with handle pattern. I mean, this is right out of the textbook. So I do not expect this to reverse and, go below 30,000 or so. We may see in the short term, to get things ginned up here, we may see a drop to 50,000 or so. That actually would be a good thing if we saw that. So I'm not concerned with that. We are still in exhaustion on the monthly chart. This was one hell of a move from 30,000 up to 74. Come on, right? These things don't come along every day. So we had a similar move here, but notice what happened here is it pulled back real hard and then it went into new highs near the end of 2021. So am I expecting the same thing? Kind of. I mean, I'm sort of hoping that we see the same thing in terms of a drop from here, which gins up the negativity and allows us to hit our target. Now, the head and shoulders, I'm sorry, not head and shoulders, but the cup and handle target measured move is somewhere in the order of 120K. So we'll see if we can actually get up there with BTC. Everybody's waiting for alt season, but unfortunately alt season is pretty rugged right now. Everything near the bottom half of the top 40 just looks terrible. And so that's got to play out, right? The market's not going to move to your timing, your sense of timing. So I know some members that we have on board have taken to the short side and have done quite well, especially in this consolidation, playing to the short side. So that will work until it no longer does, right? That's always the way it is. So here's what I'm thinking. The 60,000 level is obviously really, really important, but if we go out to volume profile, this is where we really see what's going on with this chart. And right now, volume profile wise, we have a big value area. This is what's called a value area. And it bottoms out near 60,000. So we had a little bit of an undercut a couple months back. We have another undercut a couple of days ago. We're banging on the door here. And I would expect at some point to see a release. And again, this is what we need to welcome. We want to welcome this. That release could come down to 52, could come as low as somewhere in the mid 40s, which is the current point of control. Okay, so don't panic on this. This is actually going to be a good thing, because what we want to do is we want to, I know, and I hope you're not one of them, but basically what we need to do is to shuck off everybody that bought in over here. Everybody that bought in over here is going through pain right now. And finally, if we break 60,000, they'll probably say, that's it, I'm out. And we're going to see the same thing happen that happened back in 2021. Just when everybody couldn't stand it any longer, boom, up to new highs. Will it happen exactly the same way? No, it will not. Every moment in the market is unique. We still have some good, strong trend to the upside. We have reasons to believe that there will be a floor of support in here, somewhere in the mid 40s or higher. Okay, so that's Bitcoin, and everything is still, we've been doing this now for 6 years, 6.5 years, and it's still the 500-pound gorilla in the space. So as goes Bitcoin, so goes the rest of the market. All right, welcome aboard, everybody. If you don't mind, if you check in, let me know where you are located. Love to see where people are coming in from. And if you have any requests for coin pairs, please let me know. I've got a couple more things to talk about, but I'm going to go ahead and look for, let's see. Ayub's checking in from Morocco. That's cool. Isn't that where they filmed Star Wars? The original Star Wars, something like that. It was either Morocco or Algeria, one of those countries there. Pardon my ignorance. Okay, so let's look at, in the newsletter today for I don't know if it's Jiffy or Giphy. And you probably have the same problem as, is it a GIF or is it a GIF? And I've got my own opinions on that because I used to work with a developer that came up with that standard once upon a time. All right, so let's go down to XMR, wherever it be. I know it's here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so XMR. Now, we've got kind of two answers to this. Right now, it's showing a really nice strong move with a bull flag setting up. So I would expect to see this at some point breaking to the upside. The problem with Monero right now, though, is this big, ugly consolidation base. Now, eventually, you're going to love this consolidation base, because once it breaks out of here, it's going moonbound. This is the type of pattern that builds up a lot of power, builds up a lot of energy. This is like coiling up a spring, and eventually once it breaks out of here. Now, what you're going to need to see, though, is for this to break above maybe 180 or so, and it's got to come on big volume when it does that. So otherwise, what you're doing is you're just playing within a consolidation pattern right now. You're just playing within a pattern. You're going to get faded on the upside. You're going to, you're going to see moonshots from the downside of that until it gets out of this pattern, which is bounded by about 180 to the upside. Alrighty. Tunisia. Yeah, there was, I don't know. I'm sure somebody smarter than me can say what that was. All right, so Giphy, that's XMR. So Seb, let's see, QANX. Let's do QANX. And there's some spot there. Okay, so we're going to go to a daily chart. And unfortunately, this is in a pretty horrific daily downtrend. There's not much to say from this thing. Doesn't matter which time frame that we look at. This thing has been destroyed really since it put in a lower high back in April. So this was doing great. It was putting in higher highs and higher lows. And then we fired a warning shot here as it pulled into a lower low, lower high, and then everything got confirmed as it went into a lower low, right? So that's the polarity of how things went. And right now, until you see this thing start to do that, I would avoid as far as you can. Okay, so that's QANX. Let's see, AIKEK. Okay, so this is, I can't even pronounce that. So the only thing I can do this against is wrapped ether. And this is in a pretty strong downtrend right now. But what you can watch for is for this series of lower highs and lower lows to break to the upside. Rule number 3 of fractal energy trading is that descending patterns will eventually break to the upside. So watch for this to break that pattern and break this high, and then that's the beginning of the next swing higher. WAGMI Games. All right, let's see. WAGMI Games. Okay, let's see if we're streaming again. Okay, we're back to streaming. So you may have seen a little blip in there. I done froze. I think I'm back though. Okay, I'm back. I'm thinking I'm back. Hey, Rob, good to see you again. All right, let's see. Next one, AIT. Next one, on request. AIT. AIT, USDT. Oh, Seb, what is this? Is this like a challenge to find the worst coin that's out there? These are all horrific. Now, I got to say that the majority of the crypto market is not looking really good right now. You know, if we compare this versus the 2017 rallies versus the 2021 rallies, those were both very across the board comprehensive. So far, this one's really thin at the top. So far, this rally, which has been on board for a year now, we've been in this rally for a year now. It's very thin at the top, right? It's mostly the majors. Most of these things look awful, just ridiculous downtrends, right? So I would not trade any of these until they start to turn around, especially in a weekly trend basis. All right. Okay. Pepe. Let's go to Pepe. Interesting that Pepe has turned into kind of a major, actually, if you believe it. So this is the kind of trend that we're looking for. We're looking for a weekly uptrend, and we have one. Now, what you have to ask yourself, is what would have to happen to turn this into a downtrend? A man's got to know his limitations, right? So what we have here is higher highs and higher lows on the weekly chart. So far, this is a higher low. Now, what you need to be aware of is if this turns into some form of, no, did we freeze again? I don't know what's going on with OBS right now on YouTube. Okay. I'm being pinged. Okay, so if this turns into a lower high, Seb, and rolls over and turns into a lower low, that's what we want to watch out for. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the streaming today because I am streaming. I'm pushing it out there, but I think the server's not accepting it. So hopefully we can make our way through this. We can navigate this complexity. Okay. All right, so that's Pepe. So right now, again, Pepe should be heading higher, but watch out for the lower high. And then this would be an instant sell if the price comes down to that area, which is 0.0001000. Lots of Satoshis. Okay, who's next here? We got Ayub going for STX. STX has been kind of up and down. All right, so we'll look at Kraken. And STX, this is a good example. This is a good example, and I'm just going to go out to price and volume here. So here we go. Here is back in the April timeframe. So everything changed in April. STX making higher highs, higher lows, right? Rising trend line. And then what happens is it makes a lower high, lower low. So this is the very first warning. Also, the fact that it's trading below the red line, which is the 50-day moving average, that's another warning. And then it continues lower. And then it bounces up to another lower high, lower low. So this is the way that these charts eat themselves right now. Now, let's look at the converse side. We have this pretty healthy trend line here. Oh, look at that. That's ugly. So we have, that's a death cross. 50 is crossing under the 200. I don't necessarily use those, but I will put these on here to see if there's something worse going on. So this was an attempted jailbreak up here. The price has got to get above this level here, which is 2.5 on STX. If it's unable to get above 2.5 on good volume, then this thing will continue to eat it to the downside. Okay, let's see. James Long joining a live session for the first time in years. Welcome back. Yeah, we haven't done one for a couple of months now. My daughter got married 2 months ago. I did one like the day before that, and then it's taken me 2 months to recover from that. All right, John wants to look at Cardano. Let's do it. Uh-oh. All right, it's the same pattern. It's the same pattern. We're going higher highs and higher lows, lower high, lower low, warning signal, breaking the trend line. And then since that point, it's been malaise to the downside. It's been malaise. So I'm hoping that a lot of the ones you guys are asking about are not bags that you're dragging around, but they probably are. Okay. Is this a pirate coin? ARRR? Pirate chain. There we go. Okay. I love it. Boy, I don't love the price action though. Pirate chain does not look good. Doesn't matter what time frame we look at. Here's the initial offering, which got destroyed. And right now, Pirate Chain is revisiting to lows. So I feel like we're in a bear market, right? But we're not. The difference here is that alts are just not getting any love. There has got to be a business case for your altcoin now. You can't just do it based on speculation and meme magic. Okay, is it Giphy or Jiffy? Help me out here. Okay, so let's see. Akram, how you doing, Akram? Let's go into look at Wolf. And then I'll do a couple more here and there's something I want to talk to you guys about. Wolf. Wolf not found. Okay, so TeraWolf. I can't find it. Am I looking at the wrong ticker? Oh, you're back from Digitex days. Oh man, Adam kind of screwed the pooch, I think, unfortunately. I think he got in some real trouble with the SEC and CFTC and all the other lettered agencies. They're probably the FBI and the CIA. Okay, so I can't find TeraWolf. So let's look at STOCK. Okay, if you give me the coin name, I can't find it. I can't find it. There is no coin by the ticker symbol of stock. So if you give me the ticker symbol, my odds of finding the coin that you're looking for are probably a lot higher. Oh, Wolf is a stock. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. So is that why you have all caps in stock? So here I am trying to find something. All right, so TeraWolf. Okay, that's a nice looking chart. In fact, we have a little bit of an ascending triangle here. This is an ascending triangle with equal highs and a series of higher lows. And the upside target for this is the open end. So this delta P here is roughly about where it got up to. So it's probably met its measured move target for right now, and it needs to consolidate. Needs to consolidate for a while here. So looking at that, that's a daily chart. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart does not look very good, right? So weekly chart is coming out of a base, and it needs to get above. It needs to get above this level here, which it looks like it has. So this is a long base. This is a long base. It looks like it's coming out of there. However, it's got some overhead supply. It's got some real obstacles here. So a lot of these, like if we're looking at Wolf or Riot, everybody wants to look at Riot. Riot's kind of the same thing. Riot's kind of stuck in a base. I was trading Riot for a while. Couldn't wait to get rid of it. So I think a lot of the miners had problems after the halving. James, you read my Holy Grail book and really liked it. Do I still use my fractal energy trading? Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact. This is why we look at things like this and we say, hey, there's a lot of energy. So one of the things that I was looking at here with Bitcoin was the fractals. So the different time frames that we have. So the weekly chart's ready to go. Weekly chart's ready to trend. The daily chart is in exhaustion to the downside. So this is why we're in exhaustion down here. This is why we may get a dead cat bounce back up before it heads lower again. But the real issue here, the one that I think is most important, is the monthly chart is still languishing down here in exhaustion. This was one hell of a move, which really took a lot of, look, if you're going to go up Mount Everest, you are not going to summit in one day. You're going to go up as far as you can. You're going to go to base camp. You're going to go as far as you can. You're going to stay in base camp for a week. You're going to go as far as you can to the next camp, stay in base camp. Sometimes you even have to go down. But this is how nature works. This is how market work as well too. The market works in a very similar way. Okay, something I want to share with you guys, which I think is really cool, and I want to let everybody know about this. If we're looking at Bitcoin ETFs, so Bitcoin ETFs, which is like iBit, I think this is the biggest one. So it's a pretty good proxy for Bitcoin, right? It's a pretty good proxy for Bitcoin. It moves approximately the same ways, although, you know, is this going to, if it drops from here, is it going to be linear? Probably not. There's going to be some compression in it in both directions. But it's not a bad proxy for those of you that want to get something cheaper. But the problem here is that from an institutional basis, there are no options. Now you might say, who cares? Who cares about options? Everybody's talking about options. I don't want to hear about options. Options are your key to making income. This is the key towards making income. If you want an extremely direct way of making income, this is what you've got to learn. This is what woke me up all those years ago when I quit my job and was starting to trade for a living. And this is based on this concept here. So there is one, it's sort of an ETF. It's called BITO. This is the stock ticker symbol. Now, it's got kind of a lousy chart. It doesn't necessarily mirror Bitcoin, but it does a good enough job. It's good enough for what it needs to be right now. And the thing I want you to understand, so this is not a true ETF. This is a ProShares Bitcoin strategy ETF. So there may be some slight differences in there in terms of the chart. You can compare, but this one's been around since 2021. But here's the key. It's got options on it. So here's an example of what I can do with this. If I go out to something like August, this is 51 days until these options expire. Let's say I want to sell the $20 put. So what this means is that I am obligating myself to buy if by mid-August the price is down here at 20. So is this any different from dollar cost averaging? No, it's not. However, I get paid for this dollar cost averaging. I get paid for it because of the fact that I'm willing to obligate myself to buy shares of BITO, which is a proxy for Bitcoin, at $20 per share. What I can do is I get paid for that. And right now, as of today, at $20 per share, I could probably get, if this is bid versus ask, I could probably sell this for like $1.10. And what that means is per contract, I get paid $110 per contract. Now, if you do the results on that, if you divide 110 divided by 2,000, which is the capital necessary to own 100 shares of stock at 20, that's 5.5%. For doing nothing, for sitting on my ass, I get paid 5.5% for the next 51 days for doing absolutely nothing. And so what people do is they do this. It's almost like a rolling thunder approach. Like we'll do this for August and then we'll set up some other trades to do it for September and then maybe October and then November. We'll do the same thing again and again and again. Eventually, we get assigned. The price may be below my strike price. And so I'll either decide to sell out of that position, buy it back and move it lower, which is called rolling. Or what I can also do is I can just say, all right, give me the stock. That's being called put the stock. You're being put the stock. You own it at 20, even if the price might be slightly below that. And now I can turn right around and start selling call options against it. So these are called covered calls. This is called the wheel strategy. So if you've ever heard of this, you can keep doing this almost in perpetuity. But think about that. That's 5.5%, not for a year, but for 50 days. 5.5% for 50 days. Beat that, right? Try to find some instrument to do better than that, unless you're going to do really super active trading. You can make more than that with super active trading, but you got to be right. You got to be right. Where to start trading options? I do have an options course as part of our package, right? If you join us at readysetcrypto.ONE, I have an options 101 course, like how to trade options in crypto for income. And if you need any help with that, I'm there. I'm on all day long. So if you ask questions, I'm right there. So it's easy. Okay. So I wanted to bring that up to you guys and just show you what was out there. To me, I think this is a great opportunity. Eventually, IBIT and all the other ETFs will start listing options, and it's going to be huge. It's really what allowed me to, I won't say retire because I will never retire. I will always be doing this stuff, but it allowed me to quit my job and trade for a living, learning this stuff. So I'm telling you guys, you've got to learn this. You've got to learn this. Options have been really, really immature in crypto for a long period of time. Like the Deribit stuff, you know, that's great, but you can't be in the US. You got to be in certain areas, and it's very thin. It's very widespread. This is a whole different league, and this can get you where you want to be. Okay, so I'll just do a couple more here, and then we'll bid each other adieu for the week. Not really on a Discord server. Not really on a Discord server. There's really no reason to be on anything. We do really where all the activity is at is in ReadySetCrypto.ONE. So if anybody is, you know, here's our newsletter. Here's all the courses that we have that's out there right now. So you jump on board, you get a free trial if you want to just join off the street for a week. So you can kick the tires and see if it's something that you want. We send signals into the room all the time. So here's the signals that we have, like trend trading signals are coming in, based on valid entries and things like that. So it takes all the work out of this for you. So it's a one-stop shop for this. Okay, so I'll just do a couple more. I'll do a couple more ticker symbols here, and then I'll wish you guys a good day. So Solana, let's look at Solana and see what Solana is doing. I'll go to the daily chart. Solana is kind of ugly right now. And if we go out to the weekly chart, we can see what's going on. There's more of a consolidation here. This is a big triangle pattern. This is a big triangle pattern right now. It's building out of the weekly chart, but unfortunately at the monthly chart is still trying to recover. So do not let Solana get below 120. If it gets below 120, it's an instant sell. So wait on the next move. Okay, Core is mining stock. Let's look under stocks. Core Scientific. Wow. That's a good monthly chart. So this is a brand new one, and this one's already left the base. So here's the base. It's gone, and it's into the next consolidation. So this one looks pretty good. Now I wonder if there's any options on this one. Oh, yes, there are. Look at this. This is crazy, guys. You guys have got to learn this stuff. All right, so if you go to cores, look at this. We could sell these. So if you say, all right, I'm going to sell the $8 put for August, you're being paid. Goodness, that's probably 7% for something like that for August. You're getting paid for the pullback. This is how income is made. This is how income is made. All right, CAN for the NASDAQ. Let's look at CAN. Looks ugly, not looking good. That's a pretty bad downtrend. I would avoid. No particular altcoins yet this cycle, Ayub, because it's not there yet. The market's not there yet. You got to have Bitcoin bashing through. You got to have it open up the hole in the offensive line, right? So you can run through there with the altcoins. The altcoin cycle is a very late cycle in the bull. It's when the junk rises to the top. How would you trade options on miners? Do the same thing. Do the same thing. Like if you're doing cores, or you could do, like Riot is a great one. Well, not a great one, but it's a good one because it's got all sorts of options. But if we look at the chart here, we could say, if you want a dollar cost average into this thing, right now support is down here at 8. Support is down here at 8. So let's look at the last 3 years. Yeah, so like $8 is where support is. So you can say, hey, I'll buy all that I can at 8, but I want to be paid to do that. So if you're gonna make, let's say, $60 of income per contract, divide that by $800, that is 7.5% return being paid for the pullback. This is called writing cash secured puts. It's an extremely simple strategy. Any broker will let you do it if you tell them that you have enough experience to do it. It requires very low levels of permission to do it. All you need in your account is at least $800 to do this for Riot, for example. So, CVRX fundamentals. I am not your guy for fundamentals. So I'm a technical only trader. I don't care about fundamentals. To me, all the fundamentals are already priced into the stock or the coin or the asset. All right. Thanks, everybody. You guys are awesome as always. I want to appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, check out my stuff at readysetcrypto.ONE, and I'll look for you guys in the next session. Adios, guys. Take care.